One of the goals of the podcast is to make connections between all different types of cyclists around the world. If you talk to them, you'd find out that a lot of them have the same recurring dream. Maybe it's a daydream, maybe it's an actual dream. But at one point, they have this epiphany. What if we just put bikes everywhere? What would the world be like if we just took 200 bikes and put them into our town, or 1,000 bikes and put them into our city? Now, this dream isn't new. It's been done at college campuses, businesses, and some towns have tried it as well. Sometimes it's free, sometimes you have to pay, but one place in the world did it big time.
We have 30,000 bikes in 700 square kilometers of Singapore. We're all about making bike sharing in Singapore greener, smarter, and well-loved. Hi, I'm Raymond Yeo from Singapore. This is my connection to bike sharing. I actually have an Instagram feed about bike sharing, and it's Bikesharing.SG. We have 30,000 bikes in 700 square kilometers of Singapore. There are currently 4 bike sharing companies. The dominant or the one with the largest fleet is O-Bike, and O-Bike is homegrown. We have 2 from China, Mobikes and Ofo, as well as one company with, I think perhaps a few hundred bikes, and they're called G-Bikes.
So Do you have to pay for a bike if you want to ride a bike, or are there just bikes everywhere?
The going rate is 50 cents for 15 minutes, right? So that's the average rate, I suppose. But to incentivize riders, most companies would designate days where riders can ride for free. Their users can ride for free. So recently, Singapore celebrated its 52nd birthday. So all 4 companies offered free rides, ranging ranging from a day to the entire month of August.
So if I wake up in the morning and I want to ride a bike, What does that look like? So I get out of bed, I walk out the door. Where are the bikes to get?
Okay, so if you are a share bike user, you would have installed the application on your phone. It's not the same application for all 4 companies, but the general idea is the same. You locate the bike using the app, right? If you are aware that there are bikes of said company in the vicinity of your home, you can make your way there. And once you are next to the bike, you unlock the bike with the help of the application. And once your bike is unlocked, and you should actually check if the bike is in good condition before you unlock it, right? So that's actually, I believe, company policy for all 4 companies, right? And off you go. It's technically as simple as that. Believe me when I say there are more than enough shared bikes in Singapore.
The first thing that caught my eye about Raymond's feed was the Bikes in Trouble section, where he would take and do a portrait of a bike that was obviously in some type of distress. I love your Instagram account where you find a bike and then you talk about its number like the number is a name. Poor this bike, look what happened to this. Or, there was a bike in the canal. There was a bike that had its handlebars turned around. So you find bikes that are not ready to ride. Can you tell me a couple of examples of that?
It's not like I go around looking for them because I'm a cycling enthusiast as well. So I ride around town or my neighborhood on my foldable bike. And when I come across a bike in trouble or in bad shape, I would take out my phone and take a picture. So sometimes it's as easy as that. These days, it's even easier because I've got followers, right, on Instagram, and I've reached out to them by text over Instagram, and I encourage them to send me pictures of bikes they've come across, that are in trouble. This is me crowdsourcing for pictures, for content. And in doing so, I build a community. I'm just one man, one bike outfit, right? So I call myself an advocate, a community advocate. The followers send me pictures. They in a way come on board. It's not just me, it's us. So one memorable example of a bike in trouble would be an OFO that has been painted purple. So OFOs are all yellow, right? So someone has actually spray painted it to, I guess, conceal the identity or the owner of the bike, right? Taken this bike for, I guess, quite a few rides. And before abandoning it, well, I think it's abandoned because it has no saddle, right? So I wonder, did the saddle fall off, or was it, I don't know, vandalized? Okay, so there's some mysteries, I guess, whenever I encounter a bike like that. I wonder, but I really don't know what has actually happened to it.
It makes the imagination roll. When you see an abandoned bike with some things happen to it, you always wonder, what the heck is the story there? What happened to it? What's the weirdest place you've ever seen a share bike?
Well, I would say in the cemetery. In this cemetery that's facing redevelopment. So in Singapore, we have a cemetery called Bukit Brown, but it's no longer active, as in bodies are no longer buried there. Okay, but there are graves there, and I guess once in a while, family and friends would come to visit these graves, right? So I participated in a walk in Bukit Brown and saw a shared bike, an old bike there. So no one in the tour that I was in had ridden it there, right? So I don't know who rode it there, but I imagine it's probably still there. And my tour took place, 2 weeks ago. So I think it's still in the cemetery. So that's the problem, you see. So if you ride a shared bike to a certain spot and no one rides it away, it stays there. And shared bikes can be found under flyovers in Singapore. Shared bikes can be found clustered around a bus stop, like maybe 10 to 15 of them. Shared bikes can be found at the ground level of apartment blocks, so 5 to 10 of them. And this is something that you can see with regular frequency all around Singapore. Shared bike clustering in areas where there is no designated parking available.
I love looking at the pictures of bikes in trouble and all the shared bikes that are not in trouble on your website. If people want to go check out and see all of the goings on with the 29 to 30,000 bikes in Singapore, what is your Instagram account again for everybody?
Oh, my Instagram account is @Bikesharing.SG.
But thanks for sharing some stories about bike sharing in Singapore. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you again soon.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.